course, it wasn't help the situation. I mean, they were actually at one point camping outside her house when they're waiting for you to die. Was that right?
Yeah.
Tell us
no,
about
it was
that.
just one incident where at Christmas Day, year before last, there was a guy there, you know, when it was all the commotion was going on, and there was this one guy, you know, because there'd been hundreds there, you know, all the time. And this one guy was there. My mother went out, you know, and sort of said, "Why don't you go home? You know, it's like Christmas Day. Nothing's going to happen. You know, the world's not going to sort of stop spinning." And he said to my mum, "Well, he might die." You know, and my mum really got freaked out about it. She thought it was terrible. But to actually, I mean, it's quite nice to know that people are concerned about every event in your life. You know, nothing shocks me. You know, I mean.
What are the lessons, though, you think you've drawn from that? Because quite obviously you went through a huge period of reassessment. You had to sort of look at yourself, probably for the first time, and assess what you've been and what you've become and what was like to happen to you. What conclusions did you draw?
I think I sort of decided that there were sort of things good about just living a quite normal life. Because I think, you know, when I was a teenager, I used to sort of think, is that all there is, you know? It was very much a sort of, you know, I was always wanting to meet people, and I think sort of now, I think I've grown up quite a lot, you know? Just sort of, I mean, you do, you know, it's like, you know, when things like that happen, you just have to. I mean, you haven't really got a choice in the matter. You're just kind of like, right? I mean, because you have to, you know, it's like, I've never been ill, and people really forget that being a heroin addict is a major, major illness. I mean, it's, okay, it's a self-inflicted illness, you know, but, it's a major illness, you know, and you know, it's like, I mean, one doctor described it to me perfectly, because I kept saying, "What's wrong with me? I feel like, you know, I'm dying all the time." And he said, "Imagine if you had like poison soup every day for a year or 2 years, and your body's, you know, your body's just gonna like be in a lot of pain when you stop taking it, because you get used to it." So I mean, you know, just things like, I don't know, I'm just a lot more, I'm probably nicer now than I was before, to people anyway. I'm much more, you know, I don't like, you know, when like, for instance, when I do interviews a lot of the time, people bait me because they know that I've got a catty mouth. So people like kind of, they're rude to me, knowing that I'm going to sort of turn around and say, right, and say something really annoying, because I'm one of those people that, you know, I can't sort of let someone else get the last word. I'm sure you've noticed. But it's like sort of, they get me on TV and they say like, something really nasty like, "Oh God, you've put on weight." And you just like, especially Terry Wogan, you feel like saying, "Oh, I like your wig." You know, and it's like sort of, and you can't do it. You can't do it because you look so horrible. The public doesn't, they think, "Oh, it's normal, you know, he's a star." So, you know, if he calls him a fat pig, it's quite normal. He should expect it, all that money. You know, it's like, people just think, you know, you can put up with anything. And I'm such a sensitive person, you know. People look at me funny, I get worried, you know. You know, I mean, you know, I pick up on people's moods really. You know, someone's like being unpleasant. I mean, I don't give them like longer than 5 seconds. If they're not nice to me immediately and they're not friendly, I'm like, I don't like them.
But what about in the reassessment, and when you're again looking at yourself and what you've become and all that sort of thing? Do you consider sort of changing the way you look and things like that? I mean, you are by previous standards, I mean, of moderate appearance now.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, don't worry about it. That's just like partial happening in my life.
Stand by for bus driver.
This is not, you know, this is not. No, I'll tell you. I think it's sort of. Well, just funny things like, you know, I suppose because I don't care about, like, I go out without my makeup on. I mean, I don't do interviews on TV without it on, for obvious reasons. But I do go out and walk about, and people always say, "Oh, you're really ugly, aren't you?" "Oh, you don't look nothing like you do on TV." You know, I always get that. It's like, or people say, "Oh, you really look like a boy." I say, "Shock, huh?" Just sort of, but I think, I don't care about that anymore. I've got much more confidence in my real self than in the image that I've created. That's why I do like doing chat shows, because a lot of pop stars say, "Oh, you know, if you do a chat show, you know, Cardigan, you know, Aaron Jumper Brigade." I think it's dodgy doing things like that.
Is that what they say?
Oh yeah, it's really kind of like, yeah, you know, it's bad. You know, it's bad. I mean, it's probably because most of them haven't got a brain, you know, so that's like, you know. But it's like, you know, there he goes again, being rude, old faithful.
But back on the drugs thing, are you now a kind of a crusader against drugs? Is that your...
No, I don't think I'm a crusader. I think more, you know, because I'm still going through it, really. It's not over for me, you know.
When will it be over for you?
I don't know, you know, I always ask my doctor that. I say, like, "Oh, when am I going to feel like everyone else?" And he says to me, but you don't know how they feel. Oh, I'd love to know. No, it's just sort of, it takes, I think, a few years. You know, because what happens, I mean, you know, getting technical again, what you do is, there's, you know, the endorphins in your body, you stop them from working, so every little kind of tap hurts. So if you get a quirk, you know, in your back, you think like, oh, back of my back. You know, it's very sort of like melodramatic. It's real Gone with the Wind stuff, but you do it, you know, and I mean, the good thing about being around my family was that they really put up with it. You know, just me, Frank, the massive tantrums, you know. You know, just sort of like, and my mother wouldn't let me out of the house. I mean, it's just like so weird, like me, you know, I'm 26. Bought my own house, you know, Barrett's. And, and like, my mum's like sort of, you know, I mean, it is a weird situation because you think, I'm a pop star, I've got my own checkbook, I've even got plastic. And my mum's like, no, go out that door and I'll brain you.
But in a sense, of course, I mean, you've come through it. I mean, you say you're not entirely through it, but I mean, you started on a new career. In a sense, it is a new career, isn't it? It's a second career. You've got a second bite of the cherry now.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I always think that, you know, it's like, if you enjoy what you're doing, you know, and I'm quite good at it, you know. I mean, I don't often give myself confidence, but you can only do what you're good at in this life, you know, and I'm an all-right singer. I like writing pop songs. And I think, you know, I mean, loads of people have been through drug addictions. It's hardly something new. It's something of a cliche, really, but, you know, nobody talks to Mick Jagger about it anymore. You know, it's like, I mean, it's probably the most interesting thing he's done. You know, but it's like sort of, people always, I mean, I suppose it's because it's quite near to the event, you know, but it's like, people do forget that it's a personal thing as well. It's not just that, you know, I mean, just because I'm Boy George, whatever, it's not just other people, you know, it's like, oh, look what you've done to your family, and look what you've done to all the people that love you. It's like what you've done to yourself is much more major, you know.
And I think it's important that you talk about it. I mean, not just from your own point of view, from the point of view of people who watch.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, it just depends. Like, for instance, I did, name drop again, I did an interview with Anne Diamond, and she said, like, you deserved it, all the press. And I said, that's rubbish, how dare you? You know, I felt like saying something really rude to her, like, as your wig, you know. It was glued on. But she's sort of like, you know, people just do it. It's like people talk to you. I mean, you're being very nice, you know, and it makes a change, because people just think like, I mean, especially because I went around saying I don't take drugs, so people think, what an idiot, you know. I mean, people always say to me like, you know, but you're intelligent. I said, you know, I mean, lots of people are intelligent, you just do silly things, you know. And I do, you know, I don't want to sound too apologetic, but I mean, you know, I screwed up my life in a major way, you know. I mean, I really did. I really had a bad 4 years of, you know, just a horrible life, you know, and it's like, life's really precious. So that's one of the major things I've learned, that life's valuable and it's good fun.
What about the